Good morning, everyone. I'm Catherine Ross at TheStreet. I'm here at the NYSE with Jim Cramer. Jim, A, happy election day, and B, you voted! Woohoo!
I got there at 6:05, and there was a line, a 10-person line ahead of me in New Jersey. And that surprised me for midterms, because typically there's nobody. So, I mean, maybe that's a sign that people are getting, staying involved in politics, which is really what I want. I don't care who you vote for. I want you to vote.
That's how I feel too. So guys, if you haven't already gotten out to go get your vote in, do it now.
Where do you vote? New York?
I vote in New York.
And you got done?
I'm doing it right after work.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I actually just switched from Texas. So this is my first election voting as a New Yorker.
Okay, well, it's a whole different thing.
It totally is.
Yes.
All right, Jim, how are the markets looking to you?
Well, you know what? We want to get past the election. And a lot of people, it's funny because Joe Kerner was asking me, what do you think could happen? And we're saying, other than defense, and we'll cover it on our Action Alerts Plus.com club call, other than defense, which I think would explode higher if the Republicans take the House, all that will really happen is once we're past this and we're very far along with the earnings, we could have a nice rally. And particularly now the Fed does meet this week. Everything is, I know that the guys would give me a hard time, but there's two components to what's happening. There's politics, which is mostly tariffs, and there's the Fed. And if you got the Fed to say, listen, we're going to put through a rate increase, but we're going to be on hold, you'd have an explosive rally. And if you got any sort of tariff resolution, which I think is going to be very hard because the president's calling really basically for regime change, then you would have an explosion. So once you get past the election, you have the possible tinder to go up because many of the quarters of the companies that are reporting now are citing truckers, inflation, citing warehouse expenses, supply chain, and a slowing the economy because of Fed and tariffs. So you would have a reversal of psychology that would turn quite positive. So I think you don't want to be negative, but you're going to get a call to be more positive once we get past the elections, if we think that there's anything that could indicate some movement. So let's stay close to this, looking for stuff to buy, for Action Alerts, we're buying some stuff, we're not selling. Okay, it's important.
Yesterday, E.l.f. Beauty released their earnings.
Yes,
now,
good.
Yeah, I
and that's
reported
the first time in a long time. Long time. And Estee Lauder had a fantastic quarter. So I've been saying buy Ulta. When I look at the Estee Lauder call, it's quite surprising because what they said was that China, they're still buying a lot of makeup and highest end. And what that tells me is maybe it's the consumer side that's doing well in China. By the way, Apple didn't have a bad quarter in China, but it's the industrial side. It's the big construction side, the work projects. That's where the weakness is. So positive read out of China from Estee Lauder, positive read out of America for E.l.f. translates into Ulta.
It's interesting because for a lot of my millennial friends, we're very into, I've got two types of makeup. I've got the makeup that I'm wearing right now for
Which
video.
has got some sort of sparkle thing going.
Yeah, it does.
What is that called?
It's highlighter.
Highlighter?
Yeah. So highlights the
Who makes it?
This one is done by Naked, which I can get at Ulta actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ulta, by the way, is at 52-week high, and the prices are pretty reasonable, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's important because I'm on the hunt for what millennials use. Highlighter.
But it's also so interesting because
Do you spray it on?
No, you just pat it on with a brush.
Okay. They spray paint mine. Mine's like Glidden or Behr, B-E-H-R. I think they use that.
Yeah, and so what's interesting now is we have this kind of makeup that we have to use on camera, but a lot of my friends are using Glossier. I don't know if you're familiar.
Is that for selfies?
Yeah, it's for selfies, but it's makeup that doesn't make you look like you're wearing makeup.
Well, the Apple, the X, has things that make it so that you can get rid of blemishes, which is really extraordinary. We are in some remarkable time. When I went to vote, there was this no selfies allowed. It's well, what do you, millennials take pictures of themselves voting?
Apparently, I learned this yesterday. CNN had a whole article about what states you can't take a picture of your ballot in.
Well, look, all I can say is cosmetics are back. And they had been weaker for a while as people thought that Estee Lauder were. the previous quarter wasn't that strong, and E.l.f. had missed several quarters. There was a J.P. Morgan had a piece today saying, listen, it's time to cover your E.l.f. short. I don't know. I mean, I find these things incredibly interesting because Ralph Lauren's down very badly today. I think the Ralph Lauren's a buy. Apparel and cosmetic intrigue me greatly here.
I also want to talk to you just in general about a little bit of midterms because I think it's important. We've got a lot of coverage on it, and I'm just curious to know if you have got any idea if this will affect the market.
Well, first, I understand. I've got a webinar with Mark Chaikin that you just got to go to. Chaikin has got more ideas than I have on the midterms, and that's tomorrow, and you should sign up. There's already thousands signing up, and Chaikin is just he's a great friend of mine. He's from Philadelphia, and we'll kick around that stuff. I feel that it is a black box, what will happen. A lot of people, my friend Bob Pisani was saying, listen, this whole theory about gridlock maybe not being good, and you really want all the Republicans to win. Gridlock is viewed as good, and there's a lot of people who feel if it's all Republicans feel it's good. So that comes back to what I said, which is that if we get past this, once we get past this, then we can start focusing on whether there really is a slowdown, like a lot of the companies are saying, and that then translates to Jerome Powell saying, now we have to wait to see if there is a slowdown, which then translates into a remarkable tech-led rally. So there you go.
So everyone needs to sign up to watch you and Chaikin discuss
you
the
really
midterms.
Have to, and it's going to be very, very good. You know, it's always possible that the financials could rally if the Republicans take it because there's this theme that says that you got Elizabeth Warren being the leader of the Democrats, putative leader, and she's not that fond of the banks. So yeah, Republicans keep the Senate could help.
All right, Jim.
Remember
thanks
the
for
banks. It's funny. The banks are the most controversial because they're not really benefiting from the dereg, and they're no longer benefiting from the Fed rate hike. So what they really need to benefit from is Jamie Dimon needs to come in and buy a lot of stock like he did at the bottom at 53, and I don't see him buying. The only real big insider buy, I did a piece on this yesterday for Real Money, is IBM, remarkable amount of buying, and Larry Culp at GE doing a remarkable amount of buying.
All right, Jim, thanks for all that insight. I'm excited to talk to you tomorrow. We're going to go back to having our
Chaikin Webinar.
Yeah, so you can sign up on TheStreet.
Yeah. Explosive. And Mark's got a lot of ideas. We might be a little rival. You know, I don't know how he feels about the oils. I don't like the oils. I don't know how he feels about some of the health cares. I like the health cares. So it's always how the chips are going to fall. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think so, too.
If you like stocks, and you obviously like stocks if you're watching, Mark Chaikin's very entertaining. And together, I just have a fantastic time with him. So you should sign up for the webinar.
All right, guys, and just a reminder, that is tomorrow. So please sign up. I also want to give a happy birthday shout out to Sean's mom, Linda.
Sean's mom.
Sean's mom. All right, guys, we're going to talk more about oils on our Action Alerts Plus video, so check that out. Have a great day. I'm Catherine Ross with TheStreet, here with Jim Cramer. We'll see you tomorrow.